Welcome back, everybody. You know, every year we make a list of resolutions designed to make ourselves better. And for some, it seems that those resolutions never quite come to fruition when we reflect on it at the end of the year. Is there a better way to set ourselves up so we don't find ourselves in that situation come December 31st? Well, our next guest says yes, there is. Joining us now virtually with some ideas is licensed marriage and family therapist Susan Harrington, everybody, is back on the show. Hello, darling.
Welcome. Hello there, Mr. Malik. How is life over there for you?
Life is going well. Hopefully it's well for you as well. I'm excited for this topic today because I really feel like the message today is how to be a better you for the rest of 2022. You see what I did there? And you know, you say that it really does take effort to grow into a better you. I agree with you. One suggestion you are offering us today is to prioritize our lives. How do we do that?
So it's important to prioritize our lives at this time of the year. The demands become amazing. Friends, work, party this, do this, go get these gifts. Like the demands just really take, and we're already exhausted from doing our regular lives. So it's really important that we prioritize in a way that's effective so that our precious resources of energy and time really show up. So you see here that we have from sociologists and economists a prioritizing matrix. The first one is important and urgent. These are aspects of our life where we think those are things we must do. They're necessary, like meds and taking meds and going to support meetings, going to work, doing those daily things that we have to do to live. The second quadrant at the top is important but not urgent. So those things that we can make decisions about today or tomorrow and work on them, like bills and making medical appointments, scheduling them, and making sure we play each day, because that's a healthy piece to do. Then that bottom quadrant on the left, that's important and not urgent. Here's where they're necessary to do, but we can also trust someone and delegate someone, coordinate with others to help us.
Yeah, it takes a team, everybody. It's so true. But I want to ask you this, Susan, you know, like, how do we determine which task in which category is more important or more urgent? Because, like, the holidays are here. It's like, this person needs this, I need this. Like, how do we choose?
So we choose by figuring out how to balance our realities of our life, how we determine what our needs are, and as well as what our values. So I have sent out a couple of questions here where you can look at, right? And what I mean when we talk about realities and your budget, we're talking about your energy budget, your financial budget, your spiritual budget, all of them. Know what are your absolute needs. So that goes back to that important and urgent quadrant. Then the second question regards determining what your needs are. And here are 3 questions where you figure out the differences. So you can go, what is most important of my needs in this situation? And notice again, number 2 says your body needs to be engaged that day. Then the third area that you want to do is to identify what your values are. Because when we think about what matters to me most, those are things that will help us figure out more succinctly. Does this event, ritual, tradition match what my values are? If they don't, then you say, sorry, I'm not going to be able to make that. Is it important for me to buy gifts or not buy gifts?
Ooh, so that is so powerful.
It is. I had a conversation with a client just this morning about that, trying to spend money where she doesn't have money to spend.
Come on. Okay, and there might be people watching this right now, so I love that you're bringing this up. And I love that you really say, you know, resolutions are good, right? But it's really all about growing into a better you. But I got to be honest with you, Susan, that can be exhausting, especially emotionally. So how can we help lower that risk of emotional exhaustion and not get burned out?
So we've talked about this pretty frequently, you and I, Malik. It's about our perspective in life. And so when we look at growing into the best version, I want you to think about it as living life as a journey filled with learning. Those are opportunities for me to grow, get to know who the heck I am. This perspective will lower our chance of burnout and emotional exhaustion immediately. We'll notice that. So there's going to be 12 different ways you can pick and choose your own pieces that are showing up here. So as you look through all of them, you can go to the next one. There's 4 more. It's not about doing all of them. And you may have seen us talk about these before on our different shows, because these are things that work for depression, anxiety, stress, a number of things. And this is how we can lower our risk of emotional exhaustion, burnout, compassion fatigue, all those different things. And that last one, cuddle more, I can't say more how important that is.
I love how you said set flexible goals. I think that's so true. But how do we know that these things that we're putting into place, these great tools you are offering us, are actually working?
So we know that growth happens for us at a normal and natural place where we're ready to receive them. As therapists, we have a tool called stages of change. And if you're wanting to really work at making change, but you feel that there's more negative things, I should stay where I am because it's not going to be worth it, or you're trying to figure out what's more positive, that's how therapists can help, because the stages of change model really guides us in a research-based way to help us move forward.
Come on, now, Susan. I could talk to you all day, baby, but we got to go to a commercial break. We're going to talk off camera. You know how we do. Look, if you all would like to learn more from Susan or talk to her, you can, of course, contact her via her website, maisonvla.com.